So after practicing dentistry for over 20 years now, here's some things that I've learned along the way regarding life, building wealth that you probably haven't really thought about, probably haven't experienced it like I have, and certainly your financial or wealth advisor probably isn't going to talk to you about. Again, this is just based on my personal experience. Don't take this as financial or life advice. Just learn from my mistakes if you want to, or have the same mistakes as I have, then you'll find out what happens. But anyway, so let's talk about the first thing, and that is the most important thing, and that's time. And I understand that, when you sit down with a planner or something like that, let's say you start working, you start practicing, let's say you're like in your late 20s. Well, of course, you want to think about long term. You want to think about 401k, that sort of things that are going to allow you to tap into your quote retirement age that you're supposed to, if you do want to retire in your 60s, unless you want to retire earlier, like a lot of my community does. But I get that, okay? But here's the other thing with now that my wife and I are empty nesters. So here's some things looking back on that I would recommend that you do, that we did. And that is look at things in 5-year increments. All right. So let me give you an example. Let's say that you were married, you're 30 years old, and you have a 5-year-old. Then think about, just look at, okay, the next 5 years. So between now and the time that I'm 30 and 35, what are some of the things that I want to do? What are some of the things I want to accomplish regarding with them in school, with what I need to do with my time, with my health? When do I need to train? How do I need to schedule my day that I have time to still be healthy, still have a relationship with my spouse, still have a relationship with family, friends, kids, and all that sort of thing? Because again, every 5 years, people think, myself included, when I got out of dental school, people think that everything is pretty much the way that it is now. And you may be like this right now. You may think, well, the way that things are now, that's what we think about they're going to be in the future. So for instance, if let's say you take your income, well, you do retirement planning. Well, a lot of times people say, okay, well, I'm making this much a year right now. I'm investing this much a year or now, let me project that out for the next 30 years. It doesn't happen like that. Things change. You never know it's mind-boggling, the different changes that I've had personally. So just to make things easier, I would recommend just 5-year buckets, 5-year increments. One of the biggest changes that you're going to see is, let's say you've got a kid that's 12 and 10. In just 5 years, the conversations that you have with a 10 and a 12-year-old are going to be drastically different than when they're 15 and 17, that more than likely you haven't even thought about. So you're talking about drinking, you're talking about drugs, you're talking about premarital sex, you're talking about all of these different things. And then not just that, look at where your money's going to potentially be going. Vehicles, car insurance, gas. And again, I'm basing this on the last 20 years of being a parent. Right now, I've got a 20 and an 18-year-old. And so that would be one of the top things that I would recommend doing, is chunking your life down into 5-year increments, because more than likely everything is going to change. Every main category every 5 years is going to change. Probably friends, maybe family, health, money, what you like and what you don't like to do, who you like and who you don't like, who likes you and who doesn't like you. Again, about every 5 years, just understand that things are going to change. Kind of like a snake, I believe, sheds his skin once a year, maybe. gets a completely new skin, so he doesn't keep that same skin his entire life. So think of it like that. Right. All right, so that was the first thing, was time. Here's another thing, and this is really not in any particular order because this one is actually fresh on my mind. If I had to go back and do it all over again, I would not have used a 529 plan for my kids. And the reason being is you never know how your kids are going to do in school. I'm blessed enough to where both of my kids are valedictorians. One of them is in-state, one of them out of state. One of them is hardly going to use any of their 529 money. The other one is going to use a good bit. But I didn't realize there's a lot of limitations that you can't use. So instead of, because the majority of the money in the 529 plan, in our state plan, was a bunch of Vanguard funds. I chose the Vanguard Total Stock Market Index Fund. And I was putting in $400 a month automatically ever since they were born for each kid. Now, I could have done that instead and automated it just in my Vanguard account. And then all of the money that I had earmarked for them, I could have used it for anything. So for instance, and again, I didn't know this, for out of state. So my son's going to Arkansas University. Yes, we have a Razorback in a Louisiana household, but anyway, there's qualified and there's non-qualified expenses. Well, they'll only let you take out what they consider qualified, which is like books and tuition and the dorm. Well, what if you wanted to get them a new vehicle to go and travel? What if you wanted to what if they wanted to do a fraternity or a sorority or something like that? That's something that you would have to pay out of pocket, even though you've got a lot of money in this 529 plan. You can't use it for things like that. Versus if you had the same amount of money in the same type of mutual fund, index fund, that you had earmarked to your kid for college. See the difference? I learned from my mistakes. So I'm sharing my experience with you, that if you're somewhere down the line and maybe you're saving now, or maybe you're thinking about saving, then that's definitely what I would redo. I would reconsider. You've probably heard my story multiple times about passive income and me hurting my wrist. Snow skiing. I would highly recommend that you have additional, it's not a get rich quick thing. It's just part of building wealth your entire career. Not only fund your retirement accounts and all that sort of thing, but also have other assets, put money in other assets that will start to pay money on a monthly or quarterly basis. That could be, for me, it's real estate, mobile home parks, RV parks, real estate syndications. It could be other businesses. You may go out, you may want to go and partner with somebody and buy other, there's tons of baby boomers right now that are looking to sell their business, and they want to keep working, but they want the money now. You can go buy plumbing businesses. You can go buy HVAC businesses. You can go buy mom and pop businesses. The majority of the mobile home parks and RV parks that we're buying, those are mom and pop people. They're wanting to sell. Some of them have wanted to stay on a little bit longer but that's not what we do. But that's a perfect example. It's sort of like an annuity payment for them. Again, it doesn't really matter what you do. It's just as long as that you're doing it, and you're doing it a little bit each year and automating it. So not just like when you automate if you have a 401k or something like that, automate a certain amount of money to put it in some sort of money market account to when you do get to the point where a business comes up, or you may want to invest in real estate or whatever, you have something to pull from. You have an account to pull from. Another really big category is health. And there's literally not, I would say a week, I would say there's literally not a day that goes by in my dental practice when I have somebody, a new patient that comes in, and I look at them, and I look at their chart, and they're younger than me, but they look 10, 15, 20 years older than me. I mean, this is literally all day long. They have a list of meds a mile long. Majority of them smoke. I'm sure they drink. And it's just, in your health, I can't stress that enough. I don't care how much money you have, how much property you have, how much wealth you built. If you don't have your health, it doesn't matter. When you have a lot of money and a lot of assets and all kinds of stuff, yeah, you have hundreds, maybe even thousands of problems. But if you don't have your health, you only got one problem. That's it. So I encourage you, no matter what stage of life that you're in, focus on your health first over everything else, even over your family sometimes. Because if you're not healthy enough, you won't be around for your family, right? You have to take care of your physical body. In the Bible, it basically says treat your body as a temple. And I look back at when I was a teenager in high school and college, and I tell my kids this. I'm straight up. I'm like, look, not only what you put in, like what you drink or what you eat, what you listen to, the music you listen to, the people that you're around, what you're allowing them to tell you or to talk to you about, that basically takes an effect. And again, I've made tons of mistakes, and I encourage you to look at who you're hanging out with. What are they saying to you? What are they saying about other people? What are you letting into your life? All right. And it's not like, and regarding health, it's not like I want to go on this diet. I want to go on a high protein diet. I want to have that. I mean, it's literally, it's not a diet. It's a lifetime. It's something that you do. You have a plan. You eat like this. And the simplest thing, I mean, there's so many videos out there. There's so many programs that you can buy or whatever about losing weight, getting fit or whatever. I'm a pretty fit guy, and all it's simple: calories in, calories out, and it's hitting your protein goals. You find how many calories that you need to eat. Again, it changes about every 5 years. It changes. And unfortunately, what we ate at 16, 17, 18 years old, we can't do that at 50, or we won't be fitting through the door. You can't go to Golden Corral and pizza at 2 a.m. and all that like you used to. That don't work anymore unless you don't really care about staying fit. But if you do want your health, then focus on what are you putting in your body? What are you eating? Once you find, again, I'm not a trainer or whatever. I'm just telling you what's worked for me. You find whatever stage of life you're at, the number of calories, and you can easily track them. There's free calorie trackers. I think I use the MyFitnessPal app or whatever, and you start tracking it. You put in, what are you eating on a daily basis? And you just get you a little $10 food scale from Amazon. I mean, it's easy to do. And then let's just say your calories, let's say you weigh 220 pounds and you eat 2,500 calories a day, and you stay that weight. Well, it's simple. If you want to lose weight, you just start to decrease the calories a little bit and increase your activity. I can't stress walking enough. The older that I've gotten, the more that I've focused on getting steps, and probably your phone has got a deal where it counts your steps. Absolute bare bones minimum 10,000 a day. Right now, I'm more in the 12 to 15,000 steps a day. I just enjoy doing it. I like clearing my head. I like going on walks. I can still go on walks with my dad. Lucky enough to do that. Go on walks with our dog. My wife, again, didn't really do that. Well, I didn't do that whenever I was younger, my kids were younger, because of, again, where I was having to spend my time then. But now that I'm having more and more free time, shifting activities, but again, still staying healthy. I used to play a lot of tennis, basketball, all that. Now we've shifted more into pickleball. Not only is it a little bit easier, on the joints and to play, it's a lot more sociable. You're having you get new relationships out there, because again, another big category is your relationships. Your friends are going to come and go. And we've had friends that we thought we were friends that for one reason or the next, obviously they weren't. But you know what? That's okay. That's life. And I'm sure that, vice versa. I'm sure that, we've had other people that they thought that I was their friend, and for whatever reason, we had a falling out or whatever. And it just, so it is what it is, But I will say this, the older that you get, the harder it is to make true friends. And it's kind of like the Tracy Lawrence song. You find out who your friends are. Really, through tough times that you have, you'll find out who your friends are. You will see who reaches out to you, and you will see who's going to be there through thick and thin. And the older you get, you can probably count them on one hand. I mean, and now it's even worse with these people that you think I've got thousands of Facebook friends and followers and subscribers and all that. No, it literally, you can count them on one hand. But again, that it is what it is. So my advice would be just to be yourself, be kind, be nice, be genuine, be truthful with people. And that's really all you can do. So as you could see, we were starting off our time together talking about a wealth plan, especially things that wealth advisors, financial advisors aren't going to talk to you about. We really didn't talk about money that much, did we? Because when it all boils down to it, money is, even though that's what we're always searching for or wanting, and we're always wanting to build wealth, it's really not the most important thing. Society leads us to believe that our income, what we make, is our wealth. Oh, I make $300,000 a year and the guy down the street makes 100. Well, then I'm more wealthy than him. That's what society leads us to believe. The pro baseball player makes $5 million a year and I only make 100,000 a year. Well, he's more wealthy than me. Is that true? What if he makes $5 million a year and he spends $6 million? What if you make 100,000 a year and you only spend 50,000? Who has more wealth? Think of it like that. Hope some of these things have helped. And again, if you have comment on some of the things that we've discussed today that you hadn't really thought about, and then I encourage you, the older that you get, the more life experiences that you get, that you are sharing with others like I'm doing, because you never know who you can impact. You never know who needs to hear your message. Hope this helped.